Yo, what's good, YouTube? Uh, I wasn't gonna make another video. Like I don't want to, but I ain't got shit else to do right now. I got free time. I never usually have free time. So I guess I'll make a final prediction. Uh, Basically, I'm gonna talk about Canelo first. I'm gonna talk about, you know, he does some things that are pretty good, but I just don't think he does them the best. I kind of want to go in on that, why I'm picking Crawford again, because I made a video on a rant, but I was rant for like an hour and a half. So I'm gonna try to make this a little quicker than before. Kind of talk. I want to talk more about Canelo because I feel like I was talking more about Crawford, and people get it kind of misconstrued that I'm a more of a Bud fan than a Canelo fan. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not true. I'm just trying to look at this the best way. I'm trying to assess their skill set, the way they mesh, the way that I think, the way that I see it, how it's gonna play out based on what they do and what they like to do, their habits and stuff like that. But anyways, not to take nothing away from Canelo. I respect Canelo. I just don't respect all his wins. But I respect him as a fighter. He's a good fighter. He's got solid fundamentals. He is flat-footed. Has good footwork for being flat-footed. Not the fastest on his feet. Good puncher, but not the best puncher. He's a very hard puncher. I know to a lot of people it might not make sense because I always go into this. I know everybody who's seen my videos and know that I like to talk about good punching versus hard punching. There's a difference. There's always a difference. It's all about the technique. What makes you a good puncher? You putting together a good technique and learning how to actually pop and snap your punches properly to generate the most power at the fastest, at the fastest rate without telegraphing. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of, I think the first thing I'm going to touch bases on with Canelo. The best punch he does is he telegraphs that punch, which is the probing double jab. And why I'm saying probing, because he doesn't really want to land. He don't really want to land that jab. He it's more of a distraction so he could set up that right hand and land that vicious, hard right hand that he's got. That hurts people, that fucks their shoulder up and this and that. I mean, I've always known that he does shit like that, but now all of a sudden, it's like that's what's popular right now. Like he likes to hit you in the arms and this and that, but I said that on my other video, that doesn't get you points. That's not supposed to get you points. Boxing is punches landed, not that shit. You know what I'm saying? When you're hitting in the guard and in the gloves or in the shoulder, those are not landed punches. Clean punches, which is you want to land on the face, the body, you know what I'm saying? On the belt line, not below the belt line, but on the belt line and above. Anywhere in the body, in the face, you can hit them in the fucking ear, just not in the back of the head because that's rabbit punching. So let me get that out of the way. All right? So what he does is smart, right? Because it's a 12-round fight, but that's not supposed to win you the rounds. That's not what gets you points. You know what I'm saying? But the way these guys talk about it, these announcers and shit, these people calling the fights, the fucking commentators, they sit there and they're like it's getting them, like they make it in a way where it's okay, right? That, oh, that's a landed punch. Canelo wants to punch you there. But boxing, that's not what boxing is. Boxing's not that. All right? Boxing is, like I said, in the face or in the body is a landed punch. And you got to land them relatively clean. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be an effective punch. Because usually a clean punch is an effective punch. So I just take that out of the way. You don't have to say effective. So we're going to say clean punches. Landed punches are going to be clean punches. Power punches obviously matter too. Power punches are always going to matter because they're more effective than just a jab. You know what I'm saying? A jab can land cleanly, but it's not going to be as effective as a power punch. So if you land clean punch, so all right, punches landed is what I wanted to say. That's what matters. So Canelo, his best punch is that right hand. All right, and the lead left hook that he disguises, he can either come upstairs or downstairs. And you know what I'm saying? He knows how to disguise it. He knows how to disguise so you don't really know if he's coming upstairs or downstairs. Those are his best punches. But I just don't think he's going to land those punches like that effectively on Crawford. And yeah, I said effectively because I don't think Crawford's really going to allow him to set that up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Canelo, like I always said before, I respect Canelo's skill set. I just don't respect his wins, right? Because everybody knows, I don't care what they say, Lara, Triple G, even Austin Trout and Cotto, those were all very, very, very close fights. Well, Austin Trout and Cotto were very, very close fights. I honestly thought Cotto and Canelo was a draw. There was a round. I think it was I can't remember, but I think it was the 8th round that Cotto. It could have been like a 10-10. But I think Cotto landed a little bit more punches. But since Canelo landed the more power punches, I gave the round to Canelo, making it a draw. But all the other rounds were close rounds, but Cotto did more work than Canelo did. You know what I'm saying? He landed more punches. He threw power punches just as much as Canelo, but he landed more punches. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that was a suspect. The fight should have been a draw, or at least on the cards, it should have been a closer fight. But we all know the reason why I don't respect Canelo's wins is because the judges are in his pocket. So that kind of makes me a little bitter towards him, a little bit. So I might sound a little biased. And this is me trying to make a video that's unbiased. You know what I'm saying? I respect Canelo's skills, just don't respect his wins. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to respect somebody that cheats other fighters. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect that. You don't get respect from me when Lara and Canelo was a close fight. But I thought Lara edged it out only because Canelo didn't do enough work. He did not land more punches than Lara did. It was a sucky fight. Yes, the fight sucked because Lara was doing a lot of moving around. But at the same time, he was countering Canelo. Every time Canelo would throw, he didn't counter as much as I would have liked him to, but he did more work. He landed more punches than Canelo did. All right. So this is me just explaining why I don't respect Canelo's wins. And the Triple G fight, I thought Triple G convincingly beat him the first fight. The second fight was better, but I still think Triple G won that based on landed punches. Like I explained earlier, landed punches is why I wanted to say that. Triple G won both fights. The third fight, Triple G lost hands down, easy. That was that fight. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, obviously Bivol beat him, and Mayweather whooped his ass one-sided. And even that I can't respect because one judge, scored it a draw. So this is another reason why I don't think, what I said about Crawford winning, I honestly don't think they're gonna give it to him on the scorecards. Even if he wins, even if he beats Crawford or Canelo the same way he beat Madrimov, which if you saw my videos, I don't know what everybody else saw, but he convincingly beat Madrimov. That fight was easy for me to score. I just don't see how everybody else thought Madrimov beat Crawford. Anyways, if it's like that, then they're going to give it to Canelo. It has to be like literally one-sided. Like the judges are like, damn, I can't help Canelo. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have trouble helping Canelo. It has to be one of them type of fights if it goes to the scorecard. But I don't think it's going to go there. I think Crawford, based on their styles, I think Crawford will possibly stop Canelo. And I think he's gonna utilize a lot of body work. He's gonna set him up to the body, bang away to the body. But that's just my prediction. But I did want to talk about Canelo. See, this is me. I'm going back and forth. I'm getting a little off track, but just bear with me, all right? Canelo, I respect Canelo's skill set. He does things pretty good. He has good fundamentals. He's a good puncher, not the best puncher. He's a very hard puncher. I think I said this already. Good footwork, not the best footwork. Flat-footed, not the fastest on his feet. Very strong. He's strong. I think he's stronger than Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what's going to win you the fight. Skill set is what wins you the fights. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard when I talk about that because Crawford does so much more than Canelo. Like, he does so much more better than Canelo. He has the better footwork. He has a better positioning, which comes with footwork. You know what I'm saying? Because footwork is all about positioning. It's not really about fast feet. You know what I'm saying? It's about where you placing your feet. You know what I'm saying? Footwork. That's what footwork is. Maintaining balance, where you place your feet to maintain your balance. You know what I'm saying? I just got to explain that, I feel like, because not everybody understands what that is, what footwork is. So I feel like, that's a skill, by the way. So Crawford has the better footwork. I'm not going to say by far, but it's significant enough. All right. A scale 1 through 10, let's say I give Crawford a 10 out of 10 in footwork. I give Canelo like a 7 out of 10 on footwork. That's how good his footwork is. It's not bad. 7 out of 10 is good. You know what I'm saying? Puncher, being a good puncher. Let's just say Crawford's a 10 out of 10. Being a good puncher, I'll give Canelo like an 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a scale so you guys understand, like, Crawford isn't like by far the better puncher. He's just a better puncher. Feel me? Anyway, defense, I could say they're on par, but I don't know, man, because when Crawford wants to be, he has very good defense. He knows how to parry punches, and he's pretty good in the inside. See, people misconstrue Canelo for being a good inside fighter, but we never seen actually Canelo fighting shoulder to shoulder. You know what I'm saying? He's usually chasing his fighters. So he's not in there using, shoulder to shoulder, picking shots off. You know what I'm saying? Framing. I'm not saying that he can't. It's just never really on display like that. Crawford has shown that. You know what I'm saying? He's shown that he could sit there and properly block a punch, pick it off, and then followed by a counter. So, head movement, Canelo has very solid head movement, but then again, it's his opposition. His opposition ain't nowhere near on the level of Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at his last 5 fights, those guys are not on the same level as Crawford's last 5 fights, like his opponents. His last 5 opponents, skill-wise, are better than Canelo's last 5 opponents. Because at the highest level in his whole career, he's only fought 4 guys at the highest level. Mayweather, Lara, Trout, and Cotto. You know what I'm saying? Those guys' skill set are at the highest level, meaning, obviously skill wise, I would say Mayweather first. Number 2, I would say Cotto. Number 3, I would say Lara, and then Trout, and then Triple G. But since Triple G has the size, he's able to cut the gap a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, on me saying that, so you understand me more why I'm picking Crawford. You get what I'm saying? I don't respect those wins. Like everybody else though, who's really fighting at that level with their skills. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna say Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, those guys, those European fighters, they were decent, but they weren't they weren't on that level. You know what I mean? Hell, Triple G's better than they are. And Triple G, to me, his skill level, I mean, he's decent. He's like a B class level fighter, world class fighter. But at 160, Triple G really ain't really fight nobody at a high level like that. You know what I'm saying? Triple G himself never fought a high level opponent like those guys, like a Mayweather. He ain't fight nobody like a Cotto. Skill wise, he ain't fight nobody like a Lara. He ain't fight nobody like an Austin Trout, and Austin Trout being at the bottom of the highest level fighter, because at the time Austin Trout was pretty good. He's pretty good, He's like a B plus. Skill wise, B plus. Anyway, well, Triple J ain't fight nobody like that. So, and honestly, hold on. Skill wise, I think I would put skill set. I would put Austin Trout above Triple G, but since Triple G is bigger and carries more power, it kind of offsets that. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I guess you can put Triple G above Austin Trout, because I think if they fought, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he'll knock out Austin Trout, but Austin Trout was a 154 pounder. Triple G's a bigger dude, so carries more weight on his punches. He's a heavier puncher. So he can kind of get more respect than Austin Trout, make it a different type of fight. But, hey, I don't want to get into that. See, I'm starting to rant again. And I'm trying to make this a shorter video than my other video. It was like an hour and a half. Anyway, Canelo, I just can't find anything Canelo does so good that's going to outdo Crawford. You know what I mean? It's hard, man. It's not easy. Because Canelo, it's like I sound biased, but I'm really not being biased. I can't find anything Canelo does besides his power and how much power he puts in his punches. You can call that the equalizer. Anything other than that to make it to where I think he's going to actually beat Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got Crawford. Crawford just does so much better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to mention size in this video. I don't want to mention none of that shit, bro. I'm not these other channels. I don't want to talk about what they're talking about. I want to talk about what they're not talking about. You feel me? Anyway, it's just hard. I'm trying to find, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? He's got good head movement, but like I said, it's against that opposition. That opposition just ain't on Crawford's level. They're not as fast. They're not, and you know what I'm saying? They don't got the IQ. They're not as smart as Crawford. They're not a smart fighter like him. They don't even got the talent like he does. Crawford's gonna be the first talented fighter at the level of talent since Mayweather. Who else has Canelo fought that's as talented as Crawford? Mayweather. That's it. Who else? I mean, talent-wise, you could say Austin Trout and Lara, but they're not as talented. You know what I'm saying? They're not as skilled as Crawford is. They're not that skilled. They're good. They're very good, but they're not at that level. You know what I'm saying? Even Lara and Trout are not at that level. None of them are. You could just put Mayweather. Mayweather's the only one. Mayweather and Cotto are at that level in skills. You know? Even though Trout beat Cotto, it's because size. Again, it's always size. Cotto fought the wrong fight anyway, and that wasn't even the best Cotto. Cotto was not the same. But yeah, skill wise, to me, Cotto's a better skill set than those guys. Anyway, that's me going off track again. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to do my best here, dog. Because I know some of y'all won't understand if I start talking too technical about punching and skill set and setting up and all these other things. So I'm trying to use fighters, you know, because y'all seem to understand that more. Opposition and all that, but I'm here to talk about his opposition too. His opposition hasn't been the best opposition, because those guys are the best opposition he has on his resume. You know what I mean? So these guys are not that skilled. Yes, they had somewhat of a name, but they ain't even, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even that. Canelo made them. Nobody really knew who they were until they fought Canelo, sorry. Nobody really knew, you know what I'm saying? Other than Triple G, besides those four guys that I just talked about. Besides Triple G, nobody really had that name until they fought Canelo. Canelo made them who they are. Nobody gave a fuck about Caleb Plant until he fought Canelo. And you know what I'm saying? It's just it's funny, man. It's funny how they put Canelo up here like he's a Sugar Ray Leonard, Mayweather, fucking Muhammad Ali. They're trying to put him up there with those guys, but he's just not there. He ain't that. That's A level. Canelo's B level, bro. He's just not that. Crawford is A level. He's got A level skills. Y'all gonna see. You guys are gonna see. And because of his skill set, it makes it more of a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were in the same weight class, Crawford washes his ass. And yeah, I'm saying that. Crawford, if they were the same fucking weight class, if they were both 154-pound fighters, Crawford would wash his ass. That's right, I said it. Yeah, Crawford would wash him. But because of the weight, it's more of a 50-50 fight, 55-45. And me, I'm favoring Crawford because of his skill set. Now, I'm not trying to look at weight, because weight ain't going to matter too much when they're kind of close in size. You know what I'm saying? I said this on my other one of my other videos, an older video that I made about Crawford and Canelo. It's not the same. Crawford versus Berlanga, for instance, or Crawford versus Caleb Plant, Crawford versus Munguia. Those guys have all the size advantage over Crawford. Canelo only really has one, and that's his mass. That's his weight. That's really the only physical advantage he has. And yeah, size. That's it. Size meaning in like how much mass he has. Muscle mass, fat, all that. He's bigger than Crawford. But his height, they're about the same. And reach, Crawford has the reach advantage. You know what I'm saying? He has the slight height advantage versus, you know what I'm saying? Versus like a Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant has the height advantage. I'm not sure if he has the reach. I'm pretty sure he has the reach advantage too. I don't remember what his reach is, but you get what I'm saying. He has the weight advantage, the height advantage. He has all the size advantage over Crawford. Canelo only has one, which is the size. So that's why it's a more kind of an even fight. That's why you can make that kind of fight, you know, so you guys understand. But a lot of people are just like, oh, this is a mismatch. This is fucking stupid. I don't even want to watch this fight. Canelo, easy. You know, I understand why you're picking him, but I'm trying to go more logical. Because you got to look at their skill set. Because people are going to be so confused. They're going to be so fucking mad. People are going to fucking hang themselves, probably. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be so depressed that Canelo lost. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's going to lose. That's the way I see it. Because I don't see nothing that Canelo does, like skill-wise, that is going to beat Crawford, other than the size being the more evening it out. Anyway, man, I'm really trying to find Canelo. I mean, his head movement, but I don't think that's going to be much of a factor. We'll just have to see. We're just going to have to see. Canelo's going to have to shut me up, you know? He's gonna have to prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Prove me wrong, Canelo. Yeah, man. I can't find nothing. I can't find nothing that Canelo does better than Crawford. That's gonna be a factor in Crawford. Those I just don't see. I cannot see Canelo setting up Crawford for that, because Crawford's too smart, you know? And Crawford's preparation, like I said, he's been preparing for this for a whole year, bro. A whole fucking year preparing for Canelo, you know? A whole year preparing for Canelo. And being as talented as he is, as skilled as he is, he's doing all the right things. But he has to knock out Canelo to win. He has to make it so one-sided. If it goes to the cards, he has to make it so one-sided that the judges just can't give it to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? That it would be so obvious it's a robbery. That's how bad he would have to beat Canelo. I don't know if he'll beat him that bad. But I wouldn't be surprised, bro. I would not be surprised if he does, you know? And like I keep saying, I'm not saying I'm making it a 50-50 fight because of weight. Because weight does matter to some degree, but it's not all. It doesn't. Weight isn't everything. Is what I'm trying to say. That's my main thing that I'm trying to say. Is size isn't everything. It's something, but it ain't everything. It's something to some degree. It's a factor, but it's not to all, not to everything. It's not everything, bro. Is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to get out. I got this damn kink on my neck, man. I don't know if I slept wrong, but that shit's bothering me. Anyway, yeah, weight isn't everything. Like I said, it is a factor, but it only to some degree it is, not to everything. But yeah, I got Crawford beating him because of his skills. He just does so much that's better puncher, better footwork, better talent. You know what I'm saying? Smarter fighter. And all that is gonna be the factor. You know what I'm saying? All that outweighs Canelo's advantage, his weight advantage over Canelo, being the 2 weight classes, or you could say 3 weight divisions up. You know what I mean? But that's basically what I want to say. I might have not. I hope y'all understand. Canelo, I just can't. I'm trying to find things to give him an advantage over Crawford, but I just can't. He just doesn't do enough. It's not enough. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll just have to see how the styles clash together. But that's just the way I see it. I hope y'all respect my opinion, respect my analogy. JDL Boxing. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm out.